Hi there, this is Jennifer with Be Green Naturals, and I'm going to go ahead and show you today how to use our emulsifying cubes to break down your lanolin for lanolizing your woolies. All you need is a tablespoon or less to measure out your lanolin. You need the cubes, some kind of solid lanolin, and then just a jar. You could also do a mason jar if you'd like. I know a lot of people like to do this. You can measure in here, put the lid on, and then shake it up instead of using a spoon. That works just fine. But keep it small if you can, and I'll explain why later. And then that's it. So I'm simply using hot tap water. That's all I've ever used. You can do the microwave to get it piping hot, but it's not necessary. It might take a fraction of time off, but hot tap water works just fine. I just get it till it's as hot as it'll go. One little cube in there, and I got steam, so I only do about 6 ounces. You don't need a lot. At most I do 8. But you do want to keep it concentrated. And again, I will show that at the end of the video why that is. So we've got one little guy in there melting. Oh, too much. And then we're just going to do 1 tablespoon. I'm doing a tablespoon, which is more than enough for a pair of small woolies and size 2 under woolies. I could actually, there we go. I'm just doing this to show that it will do up to a tablespoon. You do not need to. For this amount, a teaspoon or so would be fine, depending on how much you're needing to lanolize them for overnight or whatever. My cube is almost melted in there, just about. There's a little bit to go. Again, the microwave could speed this process up, making it hotter, but I get kind of lazy and figure why waste the energy. So there we go. Get all that lanolin out of there. And you can already see it's turning a nice milky color. But that's kind of doing its thing, melting. I'm going to go ahead and start this up. Temperature. Don't want it too hot. You'll end up felting your woolies. If you want to felt them, you can. Some like to, but otherwise, typically you do not want to. So you're going to want to keep this a lukewarm temperature. I tend to end up usually around 100. You don't need a thermometer. I'm going to show you just for the sake of showing you the difference between this temperature and this temperature. Almost done. This is right about 103, 104, which is just, you know, nice warm on the wrist. Again, you don't have to be too particular. You just don't want it too hot. That's all. So this is done. There's no lanolin floaties anymore. It's all been melted down. Perfectly emulsified, and it will stay that way. All the bonds have been broken. They're all emulsified nicely in there. Pour that in. Oh, made a mess. And you're set. All you need to do is make sure your woolies now are pre-wet from washing. If they weren't, then you want to go ahead and get them wet. You do not want to put them in there dry. They'll end up getting lanolin spots because it'll get concentrated in one spot. It won't disperse throughout. So go ahead and put them in, and then you let them sit in here and soak 15 minutes to up to overnight, depending on how much lanolizing, how deep of a lanolizing you need. And that's it. So really quickly, I want to hit on the water amount. Hopefully I won't run out of time. My memory card is not very big. So I'm going to show this. A lot of people are using big jugs of mason jars, big containers of water, and they're getting floaties. I haven't seen this a lot, just a couple, but you know, it never hurts to just hit on this so people understand you don't need a lot of water. Less is better. It helps to emulsify. So I'm just going to get this guy in here melted. Hot water. I want to make sure he's melted before I put the lanolin in so we can see that there's no misunderstanding about, well, maybe it wasn't melted all the way. I'm going to make sure he is totally melted in here. He's a little ball now. Keep going, keep going. We're going to put in our lanolin, same amount. Oh. 1 tablespoon. And then you can see it's not wanting to blend, mix in already. It hasn't even finished melting and already I'm having it not wanting to emulsify. And it's because you need a concentration with your emulsifier. You're basically needing to break up the bonds that are holding the water together, that are holding the oil together. They do not like to mix the way that the molecules are formed. So you're having to concentrate with your emulsifier, kind of like with making mayonnaise, lotion, things like that. And then once it's all been broken up, the bonds have been broken and the emulsification has happened, then you can add your extra items. Right now the molecules have too much, basically, room to float around. So they're not wanting to emulsify. So you end up with floaties. If you can see that. So really quickly, I'm about out of time. I'm going to show you though, if you force, which you don't want to have to bring out a handy dandy mixer each time, it will still emulsify. But the reason you really can't get it to be done by hand, it's just not, there's not enough friction in there to break those bonds up on their own. So, see, now it's perfectly emulsified. But unless you want to use a mixer like that, you really just keep it simple, use a small amount of water, and you're set. So that's it. Hopefully that worked. Try to keep it simple within about 6 minutes or so, 7 minutes. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.